It's huge.
Right, that's huge. That's huge.
Did you get a lot of reaction to it?
I got a huge, almost an overwhelming reaction. You know, a lot of support. A lot of people were, really interested to see you and I have a conversation.
Yes.
And a lot of people were pleased by it. So
I've got some reaction here. We took some comments off the Uncensored YouTube channel.
No doubt. What you got?
Eve Carr said, "I've literally fallen in love with Big Homie. There's nothing more attractive than a man genuinely wanting to protect women and kids. I hope he stays safe."
Wow.
And then Gerald Slivka said, "You, sir, have huge balls." He means you, for doing this interview. Hats off to you. I applaud you for what you and your team are doing. I hope you and yours are well protected. And at Think IT said, "Homie was very, very careful. You can tell he knows a lot. He just can't say it on air. I hope this guy is safe and continues to do what he does best." On that last point, are you careful? Have you been careful about what you say publicly?
Yeah, very, very, very careful how transparent I am, due to the fact that, you know, there are still victims that I want to protect their identities. And I just feel like a proper gentleman should always be wary of his etiquette. And, you know, I'm far from a slouch. I'm a formidable opponent for anyone, but no man is invincible, and Father Time is undefeated. You know, I'm not 20, 21 years old anymore. You know, it takes a longer time to recover from things. You know, I've been shot, I've been stabbed, I've been poisoned, you name it. And, you know, in order for a man to combat evil, you know, sometimes he must be able to enact evil as well. And, you know, violence is not my identity. Just a toolbox a tool in my toolbox, I should say, because, you know, you got to be wary of guys in positions of power who, you know, if you spend a lot of money for a wedding and stuff like that, on rings to court a lady, you know, just to be urinating on her and sharing her with male sex workers and stuff like that, your moral compass is skewed and it's flawed.
You mean like Diddy?
Absolutely, absolutely.
What have you, I mean, we obviously spoke near the start of the trial. We're now at the end of the trial, waiting for the final arguments. Some interesting things. I mean, just before we came on air, the prosecutors announced they've dropped some of the predicate acts in their case against him, including attempted kidnapping and arson, to simplify, they say, jury instructions. But the central charges remain unchanged, with the government now focused on forced labour and sex trafficking. I've interestingly interviewed a lot of people, some of them with direct involvement here. You know, for example, the male prostitute, Sheree Hayes, known as the Punisher. He was fascinating in that interview because it's certainly from his testimony, both in court and then to me. Let's take a look at a little clip of this. You know, at the centre of this, it seems to me, is going to be the issue of consent, as to whether she was consenting to all this as a willing participant in this. What is your view? I mean, do you believe this was all consensual, or do you think that, as the prosecution want the jury to believe, this was all coercion, control, and criminal?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm only privy to the circumstances that I was a part of.